Let's go, girls.
Jakub Dobeš is making his return to the Montreal net, much to the delight of many Montreal Canadiens fans. It appears we have another season of Montreal goalie drama. The Habs are up against the Buffalo Sabres tonight. They're not the pushover team that everyone wants to make them out to be. They just beat the Senators 8-whatever, and they beat the reigning Stanley Cup champions 3-0. They blanked them. So this is kind of a big game for the Canadiens. It's a big game for Dobeš. I'm going to recap the game. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, 2 points. Gotta love it. Love the.
Yeah, I thought this game was shaped up to be a pretty interesting game. But Buffalo's had a run of bad luck, like a 14-year run of bad luck. They traded Dylan Cousins for Josh Norris. I thought that was kind of a neat trade for them. In some ways, I think that Buffalo could use, like, what's that called, where you take the stomach cultures out of one person, like the poop out of some person, and put it in another person? Like you change bacterial cultures? I don't know if anybody knows what I'm talking about. I feel like that's what's got to happen in the locker room for Buffalo. They've got a losing culture, analysts are saying. I don't really know if I grasp that meaning exactly, but essentially you take a bunch of young players and you teach them nothing but losing, so they don't really understand what winning means and they never really want to get there. I don't know if that's all happening, but anyway, Josh Norris got injured. The season was looking pretty grim, but they've recently got a little bit of a fire under their butt. I just think it's a shame that they have a team of young, bright, skillful players and they're not able to get anything going. But what is going is this channel, 17,000 subscribers. The betting sites are knocking on my door trying to get me to do betting ads. We're doing just that good. Why can't I get like a company I believe in trying to sponsor me? Anyway, I have to thank you guys for all your support. This went, seriously, it went from a hobby to a social outlet for me. I just watching you guys comment, talking with you in other communities, corresponding through email. It's just really great to be part of this community. I thank you guys every day for allowing me to do this. If you're not already part of the community, hit that subscribe button. We're going to be covering every Montreal Canadiens game this season. Maybe talk other hockey stuff as well. And if you're already a subscriber, don't worry about it. Hit the like button. It helps me with probably something important. So let's get to recapping this game. It's already, what is it, 1:13. Ooh, I'm falling behind schedule. I'm also not feeling good. I'm like pasty. Maybe I'm just warm. I'm going to take the sweater off. All right, where were we? Yes, la formation de départ. So we all know what the big change is tonight, but nos attaquants, our forwards, Caulfield, Suzuki, Slafkovský, Anderson, Evans, Gallagher, Kapanen, Newhook, Demidov, Bolduc, Veleno, Beck. Nos défenseurs, our defensemen, Matheson, Dobson, Struble, Hutson, Jacques Carrier. No gardien. In net tonight, Dobeš returns. Montembeault is taking a seat. Yeah, I thought they could have went two ways with this. Either they put in Dobeš tonight to stop the bleeding for Montembeault. He's having a miserable season so far. I don't think that it's controversial. Or I thought they could have put him in net to try to redeem himself. Like, who are we facing next? The Habs play on Wednesday against the Flames. Maybe that's where we use Montembeault. Regardless, there could be a battle for the crease. Dobeš's stats are looking phenomenal. But let's talk about this game. And I recorded it off the Amazon feed. I was going to record the RDS feed, but apparently my cable company doesn't want to give me the channel, although I am paying for it. So they dropped the puck on this thing, and right off the bat, Josh Anderson gets sprung by Slaf. Has a nice little move here, but doesn't fool Alex Lyon, who is in net for the Sabres. Yeah, I really like Alex Lyon. He's been around for a long time. He's a grinder. I'll talk more about that, but first, let's talk about Oliver Kapanen getting the first goal.
He kicks it out. Demidov in tight. Out in front. They score! It's Oliver!
Yeah, early off in the game, Kapanen scores 1-0 Montreal, Demidov, and Newhook. But the real hero here is Carrier, who draws into Sabres on the wall, wins a battle, gets the puck to Newhook, gets it to Demidov, boom goes the dynamite. After that, Buffalo is trying to respond, but Dobeš is already looking very strong in net. Is Kapanen going to score another goal? He does get another nice crack at it, but Lyon stands tall. Now a stretch pass gets to Alex Tuch with around 5 minutes left, but Matheson isn't letting that happen. Matheson continues to battle on his campaign to redeem himself in the eyes of critical Montreal fans, I feel. Still in the first, After Benson gets in a little bit too far on Dobeš, Slafkovský starts handing out stunners, and this is where we enjoy some 4-on-4 time for a couple of minutes. On the 4-on-4, Suzuki gets a nice opportunity in front, but doesn't put it where he wants. Even though he was not pressured at all. What's going on here, Nick? Don't pull the trigger, squeeze. I had to highlight this. I was specifically asked to highlight this, in fact. You know who you are. We see some Demidov and Hutson magic, but the shot doesn't happen. It would have been a lot nicer if there was a shot, probably. Way more nice if there was a goal. But just look at these two go. There's something here. There's going to be plenty of this happening over the course of at least the next 8 years, right? Still in the first, things are winding down, but there's a flurry of shots in front of Alex Lyon. But the 32-year-old jobber, who has been around the league for a long time, is looking good in net despite the pressure Montreal is putting on. On the other side of the sheet, Buffalo is putting on the pressure themselves. During the final few seconds of the first period, we see Dobeš suffocate the puck at the end of the first, 14-6 in shots in favor of Montreal, who is also ahead 1-0. Rasmus Dahlin, the captain of the Buffalo Sabres, is down on the ice. It looks like Andy got a hit on Dahlin there in the last seconds, but sheesh, Dahlin did not do himself any favors trying to duck the shot. And before it cuts to the end of the first period, we also see Lane Hutson showing Ivan Demidov his Clash of Clans base. Then, as I'm editing this video, the Jays punch their World Series ticket.
And the Toronto Blue Jays, the payoff.
That's exciting for the Jays fans out there. The second period starts. Probably an unpopular opinion here, but I think that this is my favorite failed attempt by Demidov so far. If Carrier would have flipped this in, I would have lost my mind.
Demidov, a spin on Byram. Now drawn in by Carrier in the blue.
What a move between the legs by Carrier. Yeah, this would have been like a superstar goal. Now this next clip, Struble frustrated the hell out of me here. He gives it away under like the least tiniest bit of pressure, and the Sabres get a really good opportunity because of it. There was a couple of moments from not just defenders, but also from forwards, where I was just left scratching my head. I couldn't understand why they were turning over the puck so easily. But I said online on Twitter that the puck must have had a ferret inside of it tonight, because it was going all over the place, skipping over people's sticks. Yeah, it was a weird, clumsy night. Still in the second, the Sabres are going to tie this one up.
That shift. Kulik off the backside of Hutson. Benson in tight. Kulik to the house. He scored!
And this demonstrates my point. Veleno fumbles a pass here and then just weakly gives up on the puck, leading directly to this goal. So at this point, you were seeing on the forums and online, all right, Veleno, that was your one mistake you were allowed. See you again, never. But he kind of redeems himself for the rest of the game. Now we're going to see Gallagher head away to the box after taking a crack at the puck as Lyon covers it up outside of his crease. Thought this was a little weird. On the penalty kill, Dobeš is being the best penalty killer on the team. Dobeš looked great this game, basically proving all the Montembeault unbelievers right. I really do think that Dobeš deserves more starts. He does at times look goofy in net and shaky and falls over and overcommits, puts himself out of place. So I feel like he could be like a streaky goaltender. He has luck and then he doesn't have luck. I shouldn't say that. He's got a lot of skill. Now again, we see Matheson continuing to show his skating skills, juking his opponents. I think this is Josh Doan, Shane Doan's son. He jukes him so bad he flies right out of the zone. Now Anderson is getting in deep again, powering his way through his opponents, but he can't seal the deal, which is a reoccurring thing with Anderson, isn't it? If Dobeš has a horseshoe up his butt, Anderson's got like a brick or something. Go use the washroom, Anderson. So at the end of the second period, the Sabres really came back here in terms of shots and the black and white score, right? We're heading to the third, all tied up at 1. The third period starts. It seems like the Habs want to bite back a little bit. Maybe they had a little stern talking to in the locker room. And we see Jake Evans coming close. Now we see a nice rush that gives Slaf a really good opportunity. And you're just wishing here he could get his third goal of the season to keep his trend going. He's gotten 2 goals, but he's not getting in on those assists that Suzuki and Caulfield seem to be kicking up. So if he really wants to be full season Slaf, he needs to start doing stuff like getting a goal, and that's what he does.
Dobson, right in, a stuffed chance, he scores!
2-1 Montreal Slaf. Well, just only seconds later, Noah Dobson is really the hero here, honestly. He jumps up, finds a big gap, sees the puck become available, makes a brilliant move, turning this into a goal. And this is turning into the game of assists, important assists and unsung heroes. Still in the third period, Dobes is continuing to make solid saves to keep the Habs ahead by 1. The crowd is chanting his name at this point. It really feels like there's some sort of a consensus amongst the fans that Dobes should see more starts. So it's probably not going to happen. But what will happen is a Hutson goal, making it 3-1 for the Montreal Canadiens.
Takes over in back of the goal. Valeno Fort checking, forces a turnover. Newhook. Hutson, he scores! Lane Hutson.
This is so smart, guys. Hutson makes an aggressive bounce when he sees the puck headed towards the slot, while his buddy Newhook is being trailed by a defender. He reads this play great. Newhook is struggling to find somebody to dish the puck off to, so Hutson makes himself available. There's a little bit of risk with this, but it works, so we're not talking about the bad. Now in this next clip, Dobes loses his mask here, and it took a while for the refs to call the play down. A little bit scary. This is coming off of kind of sustained pressure by Buffalo, and after the next face-off, Buffalo continues the pressure, and then this happens.
Darlene with a shot, a pad save for Dobes. Cycled out by Kozak. Rasmus Dahlin, a screenshot, a rebound in front, they score!
That's Kozak making it 3-2. Yeah, lots of pressure in the offensive zone here from the Sabres. They put the puck in front a bunch, and finally they put it in front. Kozak gets his stick on it last, and the Sabres only 1 goal away from tying this up. They're battling back harder than what the Habs currently are wanting to battle. But that kind of changes. I think Montreal locks in here. It definitely looks like what they're trying to do is play a harder physical game. And we see Slaf and Tage get into it behind the Buffalo net. We're going back to 4-on-4 because officials this season have decided that there won't be any sort of a passionate scrum after goalie contact, I guess. And we continue on the 4-on-4. And like I said, they continue trying to shut down the Sabres by taking some of their momentum away, locking it down defensively. Now with like 2 minutes and 30 seconds left to go, Lyon leaves the net. He'll head to the bench for the extra attacker. And during this time, Buffalo looks like they could definitely tie the game, but Dobes is not just going to let that happen. And eventually this happens.
There's out for Buffalo. Great block by Suzuki. Open ice. Open net. Jake Evans puts it away.
Evans makes it 4-2. Suzuki blocks a puck, spots Evans, and puts it up ice for him to seal the deal. That's it. The Habs win. Habs improve their record to 5-2-0, tied with Detroit for first in the Atlantic and tied with Detroit, Carolina for first in the East. Yeah, they're doing dang good. Nick Suzuki now has 10 points. Oliver Kapanen, I think, is leading all rookies for goals. It's continuing to be an exciting year. They didn't struggle out of the gates like I had predicted they would. And I'm really excited and optimistic about the future of the season. I want to know your thoughts. Who are you excited about? What do you think about the Dobes and Montembeault situation? Do you think Dobes should see more starts since his stats are like overwhelmingly better than Montembeault's? What's the strategy? Do you allow both to get some time, or do you roll the hot hand while it's hot, and if the hand ever cools down, switch to the other? Doesn't that make sense, or am I completely off with that? I still don't really understand the goalie tandem. I understand that there's mental fatigue as well as physical fatigue. I just think that there's something to it to roll the hot hand. Let me know what you think. All right, that's going to do it for me, guys. It is getting very late. I was really slow with this one. I was kind of watching the Jays game at the same time. So wish me luck. It might be a long day for me tomorrow. I appreciate you all. You guys know what to do. Like the video. It helps me out with search results or something like that. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I would love to have you. And as always, I will see you down in the comments.